Mentioned earlier Brandon Dubinsky and Sidney Crosby's rivalry, but Dubinsky's likely not the most hated Blue Jacket by Penguins fans. That distinction belongs to Scott Hartnell, and he's earned it. He's playing his 16th NHL season, 7 of those seasons in Philadelphia, and that's where his Penguins scorn began. I talked to Scott about this opponent and this time of year.
Setting the bar and raising that bar, and I think for years in Columbus it was just kind of win some home games, keep the fans happy, and that kind of stuff, which is a poor way to be at a professional sport. And we wanted to raise that bar and raise that bar, and right now it's at a standard every day where we come into practice and every game day where we're trying to move that bar a little bit higher. And I think that's kind of stuck with me for my play personally, and I think that feeds out throughout our dressing room. And to make something happen here for a franchise that's starving for victories, playoff wins, playoff success, and obviously a Stanley Cup. It's there's a lot of want in this dressing room, a lot of need for it, and we got a lot of young kids that are very inexperienced as well in this part of the season, and hopefully we can just relish this opportunity.
You've experienced that joy in the playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs. You've chased it, and you can bring that here. What is it that's unique about that time of year when you get to mid-April and you start that chase that that changes? What's different about it?
It's just the intensity. Every play matters. Even a simple dump in, a face-off play, a face-off win, face-off loss can determine that whole shift if you're playing in your end or playing in the other team's end. So just everything obviously is magnified, and that's the obvious parts. But just the blood, sweat, and tears, the chirping, in between whistles, things like that. It all goes for you, and it all just could snowball in a positive way, and we just want that. It's been a while since I've been in the playoffs, I think 3 years, so to make something happen would be just special here.
When you guys play Pittsburgh, is you versus Pittsburgh. Can you go through that history a little bit? You love playing against those guys. You love getting under their skin a little bit. Can you explain the history of that and why you love it?
Well, probably it started when I was a Flyer, obviously the Battle of Pennsylvania, and hate bringing up Philly all the time, but Crosby would probably get 5-6 points a night against the Flyers when they had a couple bad years, and just the level of hatred toward that guy was phenomenal. Well, not phenomenal, I guess you can say that, but it was on the ice. Yeah, off the ice he's a good guy, obviously, but on the ice it's just. Stop him, you stop the team, and all the battles, all the hits, all the fights, all the goals, the playoff battles that we had against them here, and obviously a couple years ago having the playoff series against Pittsburgh, and just kind of that amped up that rivalry as well, Blue Jackets and Penguins. So it hasn't dipped in the regular season. It's fun to play these guys. It's fun to just ask Doobie how much he loves playing against Crosby. So I think everyone feeds off that. Everyone feeds off the energy, and it's something that we look forward to. And
of course, R.J. Umberger knows Scott Hartnell well from a couple cities, from Columbus and, of course, Philadelphia. Your experience with Scott, what makes him a unique player in this league?
Well, I think for Scott, it starts with being a great person and a great teammate. Guys love him, love being on the team with him. He's that comic relief that really helps out a locker room, and it does. It's important. And he's the type of player that you hate playing against, and you love when he's on your team. He's feisty, he's gritty. He'll stick up for teammates, he fights. But, he's also, it doesn't hurt that he's a very gifted scorer. So he's done a great job through his career, and he's, a person that I expect to do good things in the playoffs.